Hello, everyone. It's Todd Moore and
Tyler Moore.
this is the More is Less podcast show, where you get more news in less time. And we're a little late this week. It's been a really busy week for everyone. So
The E3 thing. Not E3, EA thing.
the EA thing come out, and so we're a little late, but we're going to go ahead and do this. And we're going to discuss topics that we like. This is the More is Less podcast show. All right, let's first I always go into the Dow Jones Industrial Average, and it's been creeping up. And today is Tuesday, June 23rd, 2020, and it's up 131 points. Although, it has gone up for the day, but for 5 days, it's kind of pretty much leveled off. It's a little lower than it was 5 days ago. And for the month, it's still quite a bit. It's higher than it was when the month started, but it's lower than it was during the middle of the month.
It's almost the end of the month.
Yeah, and it's to be honest, for everything that we're going through, the fact that we're still getting gains and we haven't completely, we kind of fell off the cliff, but we're trying to climb back up, I think that's a positive. I think so anyway. People are starting to get back to work when and if they feel that they're safe enough. We just went into in the Illinois here. Actually, we haven't yet. Come this Friday, we're going to go into stage 4 of the dictator's 5-stage plan of protecting all of us. And what does that mean? Well, it means that now restaurants can now seat people indoors. They got to follow the guidelines, 6 feet apart. If you're in Chicago, it's 10% overall capacity, 25%, 10 or less in a group. Zoos can reopen, cinema theaters can reopen, no more than 50 guests, or 50% of overall theater capacity. Outdoor spectator events can now resume with 20%, but that's stupid. They're outdoors. Just have them 6 feet apart. It'll be fine. Guidelines for youth and recreational sports. They can operate at 50% of facility capacity and 20% seating capacity for the spectators. Health and fitness centers, the gyms, can open up at 50% capacity. And day camps, water-based activities are going to be permitted. Once again, 50% of facility capacity and no more than 15 participants in a group. So we're getting there.
Slowly.
Stage 5 won't happen for a long time, so we're going to be in this stage for quite a while. So we'll have to see how long citizens of Illinois...
What's stage 5?
That's when they get antivirus. And everything opens up completely. And if you listen to Fosti, I think it's Fosti.
Who?
Trump's
secretary?
No, he's the guy that's doing all of the virus updates and everything. I believe he's from the CDC.
Oh.
And he says they ain't gonna have nothing until the beginning of next year at least. And they still don't know the impact rate of it, how many people will it actually work? Because just like the flu virus, I expect there will be some percentage of that the vaccine doesn't work on. We also don't know to what level of it's not going to be a cure. We know that, so it's mitigating it, it's lessening it, but does it shorten it as well? The time, there's a lot of unknowns that we don't have, so we're going to be in for quite a while, in my opinion. And until I think what's going to happen is that the people in the state of Illinois are going to get fed up with it and just start doing what they want.
Sooner or later.
Yeah, not nothing against Pritzker, but I don't think it's fair for him to be able to make laws, so-called laws, when that's not his job. Legislature makes laws, he signs them. That's the way the Constitution says.
Yep.
So let's move on. Unfortunately, bad news today. Mexico got hit by 7.7 magnitude earthquake. It shook the capital city, killed at least 6 people, left others trapped under rubble, and caused a fire at the nation's biggest oil refinery. And that's not good.
Damn, I heard about it. But 6 people have died from it, from a 7.7? I thought it'd be more.
7.4.
Or 7.4?
Still, it's pretty high. I mean,
but it's 7.7.
The epicenter was near the beach resort of Hataluco in Oaxaca State on the Pacific coast. That's what the U.S. Geological Survey says. So debris was strewn across some sidewalks in Mexico more than 400 miles away as plaster from building facades crumbled and tiles were shaken loose.
Wow.
It's crazy, huh? At least 15 people were trapped by a landslide on a highway near the epicenter. It's, it's been quite busy. The state-owned oil company Petróleos Mexicanos shut production at its 330,000 barrels per day Salina Cruz refinery in Oaxaca. If I'm not saying that right, I apologize. Oaxaca. Oaxaca. Maybe it's Osaka. Osaka. That's probably what it is. Anyway, they had a fire. They got it controlled, though. One refinery worker died from the high structure. So, they're going to be recovering from it. They've definitely had some devastation right there, right? Wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Speaking of devastation.
Yeah. Speaking of devastation. All right, let's talk. I don't like to talk a lot of the COVID shit, but let's talk a little bit of it. Let's talk, because I think this is an important
You think this is involved
time
with the
in our
COVID?
history.
You think this is involved the COVID?
This is I'm switching from COVID now to police brutality and.
Oh, you're switching. Okay.
Yeah, we're done with that. We're on to this one now. Where you at?
Wait, how? Okay, you were talking about COVID the entire time.
No, I didn't. I just talked about the earthquake.
Okay, never mind.
You don't remember the earthquake? You said it was 7.4?
Yeah, I know. I remember the earthquake. You said we're moving on to off the coronavirus thing. It was confusing me.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, that wasn't Corona, I guess, but yeah, I get what you're saying. Sorry about that. Yeah, well, we did some Corona. No, that's not what I said. I said I don't want to talk too much about the coronavirus. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Enough for the fucking coronavirus, at least with respect to news and global news. So I do have one more. Let's talk about Seattle and the protest zone. It's Chaz, I believe it's called. Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone, I believe, is what they call it or something.
Yeah, I think a bunch of rioters took over the place and tried to barricade themselves.
They did barricade themselves, and at that time, Mayor Jenny Durkin said that originally that it was basically understandable and it was a good thing, and it's a peaceful
Peaceful? They barricaded themselves in. You're lucky they didn't have any armed militia.
Yeah. Well, they had a shooting over the weekend in there.
Oh,
Someone
God.
died.
Like I thought.
Sunday night, less than 48 hours at the edge of the zone, they emerged during nationwide protest. 17-year-old victim was shot in the arm, declined to speak. Gunfire early Saturday left a 19-year-old man dead and another person critically wounded. It was not clear if the shootings had anything to do with the protests. But they're in that zone, right? So, yeah, it was called CHOP, C-H-O-P, I guess is what they called it, not Chaz. Chaz is the other one. Anyway, so she has now decided that she's going to have the government come in and take it back over.
And was she the one that also complained about Trump saying that Trump can't do anything about it? And Trump literally said, if you can't control your people, I will send in the National Guard.
Yeah, but I don't really think he had the what do you call it? I don't think he has the right or the yeah. So that's going to be a problem, right?
He gave. Well, it's not. it's not the mayor, it's the governor problem.
Yeah. I guess there are quite a few people that are also involved with the mayor that's part of the Black Lives Matter movement and police brutality movement that are saying, now it's gone too far and it doesn't stand for what we wanted it to stand for. We're having, murders and shit going on, and that's not what it's about. So it's nice to see that we're coming back to a balance. And we have to have police to some degree. We have to have security and protection. We just can't let them run rampant and like they do sometimes. So that's my opinion. But it's interesting that it didn't last very long before chaos happens, and that's why you got to have laws and order. Unfortunately, for them guys,
law and order.
There's that one 17-year-old died, and it's a real shame. All right, so that's it. I'm gonna take a drink here because I'm doing all the talking. That's it for the global news this week. Next will be tech and science news. You're not supposed to leave dead space. God damn it. You're supposed to be talking.
Not my thing. It's your thing.
No, but we're on an entertaining show, and you got to pick up. When I'm taking a drink, you're supposed to pick up and talk so there's no dead space. That's not good. Dead space is never good.
I don't have anything to say. What do you want me
Just
to say?
talk shit. That's my point.
Whatever.
Okay, so let's talk some tech. Because I think you guys care more about the goddamn tech than you do the global news, right? I think most people do.
What's new?
And I got some stuff that I'm excited about, and we'll see if you guys are. And I also brought back for the second week, for the 4 or 5 of you that are actually watching our podcast, hey, tell a friend. Come on, get them into this. I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, I got entertainment news. I brought entertainment news back this week. I only got one story, but it was kind of something I wanted to talk about, so we're talking about it. But before we do that, tech and science, and we'll start off with Apple. They're having their big WWDC conference. They had that going on, and there's so much shit out there.
Wait, what's it called?
WWDC, Worldwide Developers Conference.
Oh.
So it's the conference for the folks that do the programming and make the applications, the developers for Apple. So they always get a heads up on what's coming up next. So because they need to have shit programmed and ready, games ready when it launches, so they have to have that shit, you know what I'm saying, early. But people listen to this because they always talk about, tells you what's coming, basically. And Apple is going to be switching all of its Macs to its own processor starting later this year. It's going to be their first ARM-based Mac, and it's supposed to provide better security. But what it really does?
What does it really do?
Gets them away from Intel. They don't have to pay Intel for any chips now.
Oh, ha, ha, ha.
Yeah, it's a historic day because PowerPC was one of the first chips that they used, that they made themselves, and it had its positives and negatives, but then they eventually went to Intel, stopped making their own chips, then they moved to ARM for their iPads and tablets and phones, and then they've developed ARM now to the point where it's powerful enough that they feel good to put it in their Macs. So that's interesting.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
I have no problems with that. I have no problems at all. If it works as good as the ARMs do in the phones in terms of their heat, but they gotta have a hell of a lot more power, obviously. Yeah, so it's gonna be interesting. We'll have to see how it works, Apple did demonstrate Lightroom running on the PC on it.
I don't think we were able to play it.
I just clicked on it. That's all right. Okay. Next is Elon Musk.
Yay, Elon Musk, the internet's favorite.
Yeah, I always talk about him. Well, he's getting ready to send up his third, I think, in this month of the Starlink satellites. into space.
Again?
He's got to get a bunch of them up there, like 600 or some crazy
Jesus Christ.
number. Well, new photos appear to show Elon Musk's UFO on a stick device that's called a terminal that's going to connect the users to their fleet of the Starlink internet satellites.
What does it look like?
It kind of looks like a white snow cone sitting on concrete, but that's where all the electronics are sitting at. And then it has a little satellite dish pointing back up for the upload. So, and they have basically, look how big those power cables, look how big that power cable is running to that sumbitch.
That's pretty
fucking big.
thick.
And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Do you think the cable is thicker
8.
than an arm? Or is it thicker than
No.
a leg?
Neither one. It ain't quite that thick.
Or you think it's just
thick.
a torso
It's
or
probably
the
as
entire
thick,
human?
It's probably as thick as this.
These things?
Yeah.
I thought you... Okay.
I don't know. It could be bigger.
It could be
The
bigger.
problem is that's not a single cable. That's probably...
Oh, not a single cable?
That's more than likely 2-phase at least, 3-phase. There's 4 to 6 cables in that. Anyway, so I guess a Reddit user posted the first unambiguous photos of the ground devices that connect to SpaceX satellites. The site was near, get this, Maryland, Wisconsin.
Maryland, Wisconsin?
Not Maryland. Yeah, Maryland. Merrillan.
Oh,
Maryland. I know
no,
it's
it's not Maryland.
not Maryland. Maryland. I know it's fucked up. But why would you put him in Wisconsin, Tyler? What would be the reason you'd put something like this in Wisconsin? And maybe not in California or somewhere like that.
Higher elevation?
You can hide it. Who the hell's going to notice it in Wisconsin?
Oh, yeah. Snow.
Snow, and no one gives a fuck. They look at it and go, I don't know. Who knows? They probably didn't know Elon was up there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they do closely match the descriptions of them by Elon Musk. And a label on the antenna also describes the hardware as a prototype and property of SpaceX. So it's definitely 98% sure it's those antennas for the Starlink, which is good because you want them to test it.
Did you choke on your drink?
No, I don't know. Sinuses, I think, from allergies.
Yeah, we're supposed to get that weird dust current coming our way.
All right, guys. Before I run out of orange juice, let's get on to the last
That doesn't even look like
tech and
orange
science
juice.
news. Huh?
That doesn't even look like orange juice.
Well, it's watered down now. Oh, sorry, guys. Damn, I shouldn't have done that. All right, NASA. This fucking is fucking awesome.
Really?
We are worried. What are we worried about? The biggest problem that we face from space.
Meteors, because how did the dinosaurs die?
Correct. Asteroids hitting us. Well, NASA's first planetary defense mission target gets a new name.
What's it called?
So, it was given the name Didymos, Greek for twin, a loose description of the large main body and a similar orbiting moon, which became unofficially known as Didymos B. So it's one of the few asteroids that has an orbiting moon around it, little orbiting planet that's going on in space.
That's weird.
Yeah, that's something else, isn't it?
Yeah, that's really weird.
So in 2022, the moon's going to be the target, the smaller one, of NASA's Double Asteroid Redirection Test, or DART, as they say, the first full-scale demonstration of an asteroid deflection technology for planetary defense. In other words, first time we're going to try to move a fucking asteroid out of the way so it don't hit us. Fucking cool!
The problem is like, there's no gravity, so it's easily how to move it around. But who's gonna move it? How are they gonna do it? It's gonna be done by machine, or it's gonna be done by man?
It's going to be by man, by satellite, because it's out in space.
How would a satellite move it?
First of
you
all,
gotta launch the satellite into it.
so here we're going to tell you here in just a minute. First of all, they're renaming Didymos B to its own Dimorphos because of the planetary mission. They want to separate the two. So that is kind of what they said they're going to do. This is APL, John Hopkins APL lab. Seems like it ran it. So they originally discovered this near-Earth asteroid in 1996. So it's not been around very long, to be honest. So it had an international collaboration. So that's really good. And it's not saying exactly how it's going to do it right now. So that's going to be interesting to find out. But they are just talking about that it's doing it. And they're going to be doing it. Yeah, they don't really say here how they're going to do it. Would imagine, though... Oh, here you go. I lied. I found it. So, the DART spacecraft will execute a kinetic impact, deliberately crashing into the asteroid to change its motion in space.
Basically what I said.
To mark this...
Crash into it.
Yeah. Hey! Bump! Get out of the way! Bump! But that is fucking badass. Now the other half to that puzzle, though, is... And you know what it is, right? You gotta find the fucking asteroid before it hits us. And you got to find it far enough away that you can bump the trajectory enough that it can miss us.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. That's all we got for science and tech today. You got anything, Tyler?
I don't.
All right. We're going to go to one story of entertainment. And I do this only because, we're talking a lot about the Me Too and... movement, and I thought this was quite interesting. That Jimmy Kimmel, I don't know if you've seen any news this week. You probably have. This is probably not news to you. Jimmy Kimmel's getting in trouble
again.
He first got in trouble because he had blackface. I did some skits with blackface, and now he's getting in trouble because Megan Fox was going to be an extra in Bad Boys 2, and she was on Jimmy Kimmel's show, and that she was 15 when she was going to be an extra on there. And she says they were shooting this club scene, and they brought me in, and I was wearing a Stars and Stripes bikini and a red cowboy hat and like 6-inch heels. He approved it, and they said, Michael, she's 15, so you can't sit her at the bar, and she can't have a drink in her hand. So his solution to that problem was?
If she looks older, then let her play the part. It's just acting.
Yeah, well, the solution to the problem was to have her dance underneath a waterfall soaking wet in the bikini. And Kimmel quit perfectly wholesome.
That was supposed to be a bad joke.
And she says at 15... This was later on when all this went on. I think this was when that she was doing the Transformers movies. She goes, at 15, I was in 10th grade. That's kind of a microcosm of how Bay's mind works, Fox added. And then Kimmel says, that's really a microcosm of how all our minds work. So...
Oh.
Right.
You don't want the FBI knocking down those doors.
And then she goes later on in an interview, some of us have the decency to repress those thoughts and pretend that they don't exist. So she's come out, and we're going to see, and then Bay, and I'm not going to say verbatim, but basically what happened was she come out against Michael Bay, and Shia LaBeouf got on her, and Michael Bay got on her and basically fired her and called her a bunch of names and everything because she was outing them, and you couldn't do that at that time. Why is it important that Jimmy Kimmel is in the news? Because he's one of the big proponents of the Me Too, and very loud and out there and better than everyone else, and my God. And yeah, Jimmy, watch out. They will fucking eat their own. They will. They're piranhas. If they get hungry and you're a piranha and they find a weakness, you're gone. They're going to eat you. Coincident. Jimmy's on vacation for summer.
At his house.
You can bet he probably knew something was coming. No, he's not going to be on TV at all. He's going on vacation for the summer and won't be around.
Vacation.
Right. Maybe it'll all blow over.
It probably will.
So that I had to bring that. I had to bring that because that's entertainment. And Jimmy, I used to like Jimmy when he was on the Man Show and everything, but he's really gotten to be a bit too political. I don't like all the politics. I just want the jokes and be funny without all the politics.
All these like late night shows are all talking about. All the jokes are just bad. There's nothing funny. It's just almost turning into a reality TV show.
Yeah. Well, it's also disappointing because I like Adam Carolla, and of course, you know they're friends. And Adam's so close to Jimmy that he's blind to the actual issue. You know, he says, "Well, people ought to be able to wear black," and I get it. You know, if you're doing a skit, that's
Was he
fine.
talking about that?
Yeah, and he thinks that people went too far. But the thing he's not realizing anyway, is that this is a guy that's tried to cause other people, like Adam Carolla, to lose their jobs and shit. So what's good for the goose is good for the gander, as they say. And that's what people are taking issue with, Adam Carolla. They're not, and I will continue to watch you. I like you, but I'm just saying, you're just too close to him as a friend, and you're trying to defend him. But the arguments that you're making really don't work because he's the one that was pushing against those arguments publicly on his show and everything. And I'm like, what? Just fucking tell jokes and interview people. I don't want to fucking hear that shit. That's why I don't watch late night. That's why I don't watch fucking...
I used to watch late night. It was
Late Show with fucking dumbass. He was good when he was on...
Comedy Central.
Right, but I'm tired of all that politics, this, that, and other. Yeah, you hate body, you hate this, you hate that, whatever. Ugh. It's not like it used to be. Where I want Johnny Carson back. He was the best. God damn it. All right. Enough of me ranting. It's time now for Tyler and gaming news. Yep. Hurry up.
I'm trying. I'm just getting myself adjusted.
I have to make myself another glass of orange juice.
So, you know that Twitch Twitch is a big streaming company. And used to be one of the best Twitch guys.
Yeah.
Named Ninja. He went to a different streaming service called Mixer. Well, Xbox will shut down Mixer for a new deal with Facebook Gaming, which is very, very bad because who uses Facebook? Only like women, mostly women. I don't see no one else on Facebook except for women.
Yeah, and
that's disappointing.
They offered. So here's the personalities that Microsoft dropped millions of dollars to secure. Solel Faze Ewok Wheeler, Corey King, Gothalion,
Just say Faze Ewok King Goliath, then.
And Michael Shroud, and of course Ninja. So they were all brought over from Twitch with large amounts.
Large amount of money from Twitch to Mixer. Now Mixer's getting bought out by Xbox.
And this tells you why it was such a bad idea. When Mixer signed Ninja, he had 14.7 million followers on Twitch. As of today, he's got over 3 million. Are you fucking kidding me?
He doesn't use Twitch.
Well, guess what? They offered...
he probably will go back to Twitch and his net will rise back up.
Microsoft spent 20 to 30 million to lure Ninja away. So maybe I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. If he got $20 million...
It's easy money right there. He doesn't have to do much. He does what he does. He does what he wants.
I guess I'm jealous. I guess I can't. If that kind of money, I can't blame him. But he decided not to go with Facebook. Great. And he got his He basically did a buyout from Microsoft, and now he's basically a free agent. So what that means is he's probably going back to Twitch. Twitch is still the best platform of them all. Sorry, Microsoft, you couldn't beat Google. Facebook, you're not going to be able to beat Google on this either.
Twitch doesn't own... I don't think Twitch is owned by anyone.
Google owns Twitch. Look that shit up. Look that shit up. Maybe I'm lying.
So, anyways, speaking of gaming, when at the very beginning of this podcast, we were talking about how we were late because of the EA live stream that happened this week. And
okay.
Haha, told you.
Shit, Twitch. This is
Told you.
Fuck you, man. I can't believe that. Twitch is owned by Amazon.
That's not surprising. Twitch.
They're not even a gaming company.
Twitch Prime.
Wow.
That's why Twitch Prime.
That makes sense. That's how Ninja got all his money, because he partnered with the Amazon. Got it. Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, so anyways, the reason why we were late is because we were watching the EA Play live stream, and there were a lot. Everyone was hype about a new Battlefield game that was coming out, but apparently there isn't. There are some shockers that came out during that live stream. Skate 4 got basically got revealed be the next game, I hope, for the century. Also this week, also in the live, hang on, before I go on to the next one, also in the live stream, this is big for Star Wars fans, but Star Wars Squadrons is going to be a game that you'll love. It's basically you're playing on both sides of the Republic and the Empire, with their own TIE fighters and X-Wing and bombers and interceptors. I can't name all of them, but there's a lot of ships. There's going to be a single player for both sides. There is a full-on multiplayer for 5v5, which is really, really cool game. I think it's also going to have a support VR system with it.
Still trying to push out VR, are they?
Yeah, VR is a big hit. Anyways, also upsetting news. There's some upsetting news. Not Timefall. Cyberpunk 2077 got delayed again, but the only good news is it only got delayed for a month, so they're probably fixing up bugs and stuff.
Or they're fixing their security.
That too.
Could be a little bit of both. Usually, when you have that kind of time, you spend it doing a lot of check off the list.
Yeah. Speaking of Timefall 2 is back from the dead.
TF2.
No.
Oh, that's Team Fortress. My bad.
I
got it in anyway.
Of course you.
I got it in anyway. I love it.
You're disappointed. Anyways,
go ahead.
Timefall 2 is back from the dead. Reason is now Timefall 2, since the EA thing with Steam, not with Steam, with Valve, which is a massive, massive thing. Timefall 2 is now on PC. You can buy it on Steam now.
PC just keeps it rocking. I know there's a lot of hype about Xbox and PS5 and all that, but while all the hype keeps going and going, the PC just keeps on chugging away.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Is the best VR on the PC? Yes.
Yeah, I guess.
All right.
So, a game came out last week. Last of Us.
Just one?
Yeah, Last of Us 2.
Oh, that's
part 2.
That game's been hyped up for quite a while.
Yeah, and the reviews are very mixed.
Okay, well, I guess, let me guess, some of the reviews are that it's too not long enough to complete.
30 to 25 hours.
Tanner beat it in like 8.
It took him 3 days to get it done.
3 days?
Actually, it took him like 5 or 6 days.
How many hours, though?
The actual full game hours is...
For him?
I don't know. You gotta ask him.
Oh. Anyway.
So the actual game is like 30 to 25 hours, so basically 2 goddamn days. That wasn't the problem. The problem was the people who were writing reviews said there was bad writing, bad storytelling, and something to do with SJWs, which are... SJWs are complete cunts, and I don't want to fucking listen to them.
HAW?
SJWs, social justice warriors, which is complete bullshit, and I don't believe them.
Yeah.
They're stupid.
Yeah.
I played Last of Us 2. I think it was a really good game. I haven't played the first one, but I know this game is a massive tearjerker.
I'm getting ready to play it, so we'll find out. I had to wait till Tanner beat it so I could play it.
You're gonna take about 6 months.
But I'll have fun.
Whatever.
All right, is that it for the gaming?
Yeah, there's not a lot for gaming except for that EA thing.
All right, let's go to sports. Sports with Tyler Moore.
NASCAR also. In NASCAR, we don't usually talk about NASCAR a lot.
Boring now.
Yeah, well,
10 years ago when we had actual cool fucking drivers, it was much better. Anyway, what about NASCAR?
I don't know a guy named Bubba Wallace.
Yep, Bubba Wallace. I know about him.
I don't know what car he drives, but somehow he found a noose in his hotel room. Was it he or someone else?
Well, it wasn't his hotel room.
Was it not a hotel room? It was
No.
in his house or car?
It was in the garage.
Oh,
in the
garage.
pits.
Oh, my God.
And only a limited number of people can be in there. I originally first thought it was probably a fan, but fans aren't allowed in there. It's either reporters, pit crew guys.
So why would they find a noose and no one died? Why was there a noose there?
Well, to fuck with him, unfortunately. And it's been in there since October, I guess. The FBI is not going to have federal charges, but they're still investigating, and I hope to find the piece of shit that did it. So, he drives for Richard Petty, which is, he owns Team Wallace.
What car, though? What number car is he?
He races for Team Wallace. I don't know what the car number is because they don't say. You read that? I can't read that.
See it. It's number 4 car.
Number 4. I can.
They sent a powerful
message on Monday. They all come to solidarity, all the drivers and the pit guys and everyone, and walked and pushed Bubba's car before the race around the track and explained exactly how this should not be tolerated. But see, here's the issue, and this is why he's getting his shit, and he shouldn't be. NASCAR has decided to get rid of the Confederate flag at all their events.
Oh shit!
That includes fans. They can't have it.
That's a massive.
And guess who was one of them that was calling? Person that was calling for it was Bubba, and he's got a point. Fucking.
No, I don't think anyone's fans with him anymore after that. Because the only reason.
No, he didn't. He wanted them
flag,
gone. He's black. He wanted the Confederate flag gone, and they listened to him, rightfully so, and said we're banning it.
But the only reason why the Confederate flag is still there is because hang on, let me think of what I was gonna say. What do you see most people with the Confederate flag at? What?
South. Former slave states.
Yeah. So after a very long time, what sport do they like watching?
Well, they're all rednecks, and they like to watch NASCAR.
Yes. NASCAR is the only sport they will watch.
Well, they watch football and other shit.
Well,
but they can't
football.
They can't bring the flag to those events. Yeah.
Yeah,
but NASCAR,
it's almost like a NASCAR almost has like an icon for that, for a Confederate flag.
That's why they're trying to get
really
rid of it.
stupid to remove it. I don't see a problem with the Confederate flag just being there.
Well, I don't know if I think if my family was black and I had former slaves from Mississippi or one of those states, and that's what that flag represents. I mean, get this, right?
I know what the flag represents, but
let me just tell you about like a logically. So I won't even go into that. Let's look at this logically because I like to look at shit logically. Let's say we had a war. When we had wars, right? When we have a war and we conquer it, do we let the country or the whatever we beat, do we let them raise their flag or do we put our flag?
It depends if we're America, because if we're America, we do.
We don't let them raise their flag if we beat them. And it's our property. We raise our own.
Illinois has their own flag, and people will still raise those.
Illinois flag is not the same. I'm talking about the Confederate flag was not a state flag.
I know it wasn't a state flag.
It was a country nationwide flag for the South. It represented it was the opposite of the Stars and Stripes. So the Stars and Stripes won. If you would never let your enemy raise their fucking flag, would you? Seriously? After you beat them? Or put up statues saying how great their fucking generals were that you killed and you beat? Does that make any sense logically? Don't, right?
No, I don't.
That's the problem I have with it. Whether the black thing and all the other shit, just looking at it logically, if I kick your fucking ass, I'm not saying, hey man, why don't you go ahead and raise that flag that we just, all my men died over fucking kicking, your ass. Oh, and some of the generals that had slaves and was beating on them and whipped them real good, and Robert E. Lee, from what I understand, I don't know, but from what I understand, said he wanted to whip them real good, and if they didn't mind, that he put them on a pit, like a griddle, where it burned them.
Oh my God.
Pretty tough shit, right? So I don't know, do we need all that shit? I don't think so. And they shouldn't have even let it happen in the first goddamn place, in my opinion. But it is what it is. So I have no problems with it. I do have problems with people just being anarchists and running up there and tearing down statues and all that shit. That should not be happening. You go through the right process to where you make the state, the government, the county, whatever it is there where it's at, take it down.
Something just popped in my head. You know that Donald Trump was this has to do with Donald Trump. I heard rumors saying that Donald Trump was trying to make burning the American flag illegal.
I've heard that, but I have no evidence to corroborate that, and I haven't really checked. And the problem with Donald Trump is you don't know what's real and what's not with him. He says a lot of bullshit.
Like all the politics in the world.
Yeah.
So, off to our next sporting news.
And
UFC.
The last one of the night, guys.
Is a UFC.
Go for it. You do the... this time you do the results, and I'll talk about Mr. Josh Emmett.
I don't know the results.
You don't have the link?
Oh, I don't want to pull it up. You
all right.
do.
So we had ESPN on UFC on ESPN the other night, and it was a good fight. So there was some good matches. The top, we'll go over all of them. We always do, right? We had a catch weight, which are shitty. They don't mean anything. But we had Jim Miller against Roosevelt Roberts. Jim Miller got him in a submission in round 1 in 2 minutes 25 seconds. That was pretty much expected. Jim Miller's got a record of 32-14 against 10-2. Up and comer, Roosevelt was, but just didn't have the skill set that Jim Miller did. Next up's welterweight, and we got Bilal Muhammad. It was against Lyman Good, and that was a boring one, right?
Was it?
I don't know. There was quite a few hits, but it come to a decision, And Muhammad won it. He's 17-3, and Good was 21-6. So you'd think that it might have been pretty good. Then we had the women's bantamweight fight, and that was Raquel Pennington against Marion Reneau.
That was basically a one-sided fight, wasn't it?
Yeah. Raquel basically kept going after her and it showed octagon strength and aggression, but it went to a decision, but she did win it. Then we had featherweight co-main event, and this fucking fight here was fight of the night and would have been fight of the year this year if it wasn't for the original fight with Joanna Chechesnik and the Chinese gal Jing. That obviously that's the fucking fight of the year right now still. Fucking A. This close to it. This motherfucker Josh Emmett, he was going against Shane Burgos. Josh is 16-2 and 0. Shane is 13-2 and 0. It was a co-main event. Josh came out to fight. He came out to fight like a motherfucker.
Well, he was, but until something happened in the first round.
Yeah, he ended up with a victory and most people wouldn't even been able to have fought, but he ended up doing it. And he tore his ACL. And that was like early on in the fight. And he kept fighting it. He kept fighting. After 15 minutes of action, the fight went to decision, and Emmett did win. But he kept beating on him, and the guy had a fucking solid jaw. That son of a bitch should have been down more than once. Fucking tough motherfucker.
Both of them were.
So here's what he had got. Here's what all the injuries. Complete ACL tear.
Goddamn.
MCL sprain with partial tearing.
Oh, shit.
Baker's cyst rupture.
Goddamn.
Focal impact fracture of femur on the lateral.
I don't know what that means.
Right down here.
Oh.
And chondral defect cartilage on tibia, laterally matching impact area. So all from that whole area of that fucking knee, basically. All fucked up. He says in his Twitter, he says, when I say I'm willing to go through hell and suffer any amount of pain to get my hand raised,
Instagram.
I mean it.
That's Instagram.
Instagram?
Yeah.
How do we know that? Oh, it is Instagram. I didn't see that. My bad. Sorry, Twit.
Twitter.
So, I call them Twit because they're Twits there. Anyway, and then the main event.
Basically, the one with the that.
Curtis Blades against Alexander Volkov. Curtis is 14-2. Alexander is 31-8. Boring ass fight. They should have fucked each other. That would have been funner, because all they did was lay on each other, and fuck around. It was boring.
Well, it was the heavyweight, so they're trying to lose all their energy because it's heavyweights and they're very heavy.
Hey, you know it's a 15-minute fight. You come to fight 15 minutes. That was actually, I think 25. I think that was that was 25. But no excuse. They should have no excuse. Well, I'm too fat. Well, then maybe you ought to fucking lose weight. I don't have enough cardio. Well, then maybe you ought to fucking, you chose this fucking
do
job. What? What'd you say?
I didn't say anything.
Oh, I thought you said something. Okay. Anyway, that's my rant about UFC.
That's basically it.
And I think that's going to be it for the show tonight. Thank you for watching, everyone. I know only a few of you are watching. Please tell a friend. We'd really appreciate it. Please like, subscribe, click the bell, bookmark the page, post a comment. Anything else you got to add, Tyler?
Nope.
All right. From Tyler Moore and Todd Moore, this is the More is Less podcast show, where you get more news in less time. And we'll see you the next time. Might be next week, might be this week, but so I'll say next time. All right. Bye-bye.